Got a storm blowing in, as you might be able to see. And I'm going to try to do this quickly, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to come here to the Iowa River. I tested it yesterday for nitrates. It was about 20. And I'm going to pull out a bucket of water. And I'll show you in a bit, but then I'm going to run it through a filter. And that should get all the sediment, a lot of the organic material, a lot of the bacteria. The filter is smaller than the bacteria, so it should remove that. The one thing it won't remove is nitrates. I'm gonna get here. Got my handy dandy bucket. It's got a spigot here. We'll attach a filter through this, filter it into a different bucket. So here we are. Try not to fall in here. Okay, got about a half a bucket of water. Okay, I've got my setup here. I've got my source water right there. I've got an empty bucket down here. So that's going to be my setup. I've got a filter here, and I've got a charcoal filter right here first, and I've got a filter. I forget what the micron is, but it'll remove bacteria here. So we're going to hook this up. We're going to drain some water and get our clean water, but it will likely have nitrates in it. And you'll see my testing here. We're going to test both sets. Okay, we'll get this hooked up. Now we'll get ready to go. Okay folks, the storm is blowing in, so I'm getting out of here. We'll finish this at home, doing the filtering and checking the nitrates. I guess the storm is here. While I'm filtering the water from one bucket to the other from the Iowa River, we'll test some nitrates while we're here. This here is directly from the Iowa River. Looks pretty close to 10. I'm going to guess a smidge over 10. Okay, the filter's going on. It's speeding up just a little bit, which is not unusual as you get that filter wet. So I've got enough water in the bucket here that I think I'm going to dip a test strip in here and see what the nitrate levels are coming out. If you remember, I said we're going to filter out particulate matter, sediment, organic material. We're going to filter out bacteria such as E. coli, coliform. The dissolved nitrogen, we are not going to filter that out. So even though this water looks much clearer than what's in the bucket, which we'll look at in a minute, we're probably going to find it's got the same amount of nitrates. So here goes. And again, we look like we're coming in right at 10. It's even a little darker than 10. And that's what I said before, maybe 11, guessing. Okay, I'm going to try to give you sort of a visual demonstration of how a filter works to clean water, remove sediment, but not be able to remove the nitrates. So you've heard me talk about that a little bit, how I filtered the water out of the bucket and we removed a lot of the particulate matter. We provided a lot of clarity for the water, but we didn't remove the nitrates. So I've got a few average materials here, just sort of a strainer you can kind of see through. I just got some salt. I've got a bucket of golf balls, and I'm going to eventually put some water through. So if you think of this as your filter has holes in it. Usually it's like 22 microns, something like that. Again, small enough to keep out larger particles such as bacteria. So if I take this and I would put in the golf balls, nothing gets through. Okay, so that would be similar to the bacteria getting stuck in the filter. So I'll empty that out. If I take a different example, now we go to salt. Much smaller particle, right? So the salt would be more like the nitrates. So as I put the nitrates through the filter, It goes right through, right? So now I have all that. So that is what your nitrates may look like getting through, as you saw earlier today, where my nitrates really didn't change. So the next thing I can really do, I guess, let's just put these golf balls back in here. So I've got all my particulate matter in there. So now I've got all these golf balls in here, right? As I said, that's the sediment. Sediment stuck in the filter. My salt came right through. That's my nitrates, ended up in the other side of my water. So now I can do this. Got my filter there. I'm gonna put some water in there. And the same thing happens. The water gets through. So now I've got water with nitrates, but no sediment. That's the way the filter works. Okay, let's take a look at our water. Again, this is our source bucket from the Iowa River. Pretty dirty, right? Barely see the bottom of the bucket. Not sure I even can. See the reflection of my light there. And we go down here, we look at what's coming out of the filter. That looks pretty clear, right? But hard to tell. If we go into the bucket, looks really clear. So that's the sediment and the particulate matter we're filtering out. So we did not filter out the nitrate. Okay, folks, I'm back, and we've got the water all filtered. So we'll just pour myself a glass here. I'm not going to pour myself a glass here, but Governor Reynolds, here's to you. Will you join me for a glass of water? This is my invitation. Guys, I know we can do better. We can do this together. We know there's a water issue. Let's get after it. Let's clean it up. Our lives, our health, our kids' health, our grandkids' health, it depends on it. I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I'm trying to be positive because we can do this together.